that is liquid in glass thermometer and resistant temperature detector and the thermistor. And today we see the what is the temperature measuring device called as thermocouple. So thermocouple is a device for measurement of temperature, and it is operation is will be based on the Seebeck effect. So what it state? It state when the heat is applied or when heat is applied to a hot junction of a two dissimilar metal, an EMF is generated which can be measured at other junction and current flow. So whenever we consider in the principle of thermocouple, the two dissimilar metals are joined together. So this one dissimilar metal, upper one, and lower one is a second dissimilar metal. And these two dissimilar metal will be subjected to a different temperature, hot temperature, hot junction, and cold junction at the lower temperature. Hot junction will be at the higher temperature, and we can have this whenever this is subjected to a temperature, the EMF is going to be generated in the circuit. Okay, it state that whenever heat is applied to hot junction, we are supplying the heat, or it is subjected to hot junction is subjected to the temperature whose body whose temperature we want to find out. So this temperature will directly release the heat, and this heat, due to this heat, the EMF current is flowing inside this circuit, and EMF is going to be generated due to the effect of Seebeck effect, and EMF is generated, and this EMF is to be measured by using some circuit, using some circuit, and you can see the two dissimilar metal, the metal A and metal B. Upper one is a metal A and lower one is a metal B, and the probable combination of the material given as platinum rhodium, it may be a platinum, and lower one may be a rhodium, or it may be the alloy of iron, alloys of copper, alloys of nickel, alloys of copper, iron, and nickel. So these are the two dissimilar, or what you can say, the metal which are going to be considered. I have seen the various students are just joining the class and left the class. I don't know what are the reason, but if this happens, this will be seen on my screen and it will be seriously viewed. So whenever the two metals are there, and these two metals will be considered as in terms of graphical representation, if you consider, temperature will be on the x-axis and EMF will be on the y-axis. So there will be a graph for what you can say increase in temperature. As there is increase in temperature, there is increase in EMF. There is increase in electromotive force. So it is a linear type of relationship or linearity. So for iron, the graph will be like this. For copper, the graph is slightly in higher inclination. Like that, for every material, we can have a graph of temperature versus electromotive force, which is in the linear relationship with the EMF. Means as the temperature changes, EMF changes in the linear direction in the positive sense. So there is increase in temperature, increase in EMF. So if you consider a mathematical relationship, the EMF generated or produced is given by E equal to small a in bracket T1 minus T2 bracket close plus small b T1 minus T2 whole square, where T1 is considered as temperature of hot junction and T2 is a temperature of cold junction. Again, T1 is a temperature of hot junction, T2 is a temperature of cold junction, and we can see A and B, they are considered as constant. A and B are considered as constant. So if you consider E will be as it is equal to A, T1 minus T2 is replaced by theta, is a change in temperature, delta E, plus B, T1 minus T2 is theta, again the square of that. So it becomes E equal to A theta plus B theta square. As B is very small as compared to A, value of B is very small as compared to A. So we are neglecting this higher order term. So what will happen? E is directly proportional to A into theta. E is the electromotive force directly proportional with the A in multiplied by theta. So A is a constant. So what is happen? Here there is a relationship between the electromotive force and what you can say the increase in temperature. Okay. So then the EMF is directly proportional to the difference in temperature, because theta is the difference in temperature. If the cold junction, if the cold junction is kept constant, cold junction is kept constant means the temperature value of T2 is kept constant. So theta is actually what? It is the difference of T1 minus T2. Where T2 is going to be constant, then what will happen? EMF is directly proportional with the T1, where the T1 is the temperature of hot junction. Temperature of hot junction. So what we can say, the temperature is directly proportional with the EMF. Okay, then the thermocouple can be calibrated to measure the temperature of a hot junction. So in this way, we can have a EMF directly proportional with the temperature T1, where we consider here hot junction, which is subjected to a body whose temperature is T1, and cold junction is a area where having the temperature T2. So the difference of temperature, and due to difference of temperature is the flow of current inside this two metal, and indirectly the EMF, electromotive force, is going to be generated, and this electromotive force we can measure with the help of some circuit, and which is nothing but the change in temperature. So we in this way it is able to what can measure the temperature of a body. So which are the different laws which are related with that, thermoelectric laws, and there are some thermoelectric laws which are there. One is the law of homogeneous circuit. Application of heat to a single metal is not capable to produce electric current. Means if it is a single metal, that doesn't have any meaning. That's why we are using here two dissimilar metal A and metal B. Because two dissimilar metal must be joined, then it is necessary for condition for a generation of your thermoelectric. And if it is a single metal, then there will not be any generation of EMF. Second thermoelectric law is the EMF produced when junctions of two dissimilar metals are kept at different temperature. So EMF is only going to be produced whenever there are difference in temperature, or whenever there is a two dissimilar metal at kept at different temperature. It is not affected by the temperature gradient along the conductor. So along the conductor there will not be any effect. So if you consider this figure, here also J1 is a temperature junction of two dissimilar metal where temperature is T1, and J2 is the second junction where temperature is T2. In between that, we can have the temperature gradient. Here T3 is there, and here is a T4. So there is a B metal and A metal. So what the law says, EMF produced when junction of two dissimilar metals are kept at different temperature. So we can have different temperature here. It is not affected by the temperature gradient along the conductor. So even though there is a T3 or T4 whose temperature may be different from T1 and T2, it will not affect the values of EMF production, because along the length of the conductor, whatever the gradients are there, whatever the change in temperatures are there, it will not affect along the length of the conductor here and here. It is only affecting the temperature variation at the point of junction at J1 and point of junction at J2. Okay. According to third law, the EMF developed is not affected when third homogeneous metal is made as a part of circuit. So if you consider here J1 is a hot junction, J2 is cold junction, and it is subjected to temperature T1, it is subjected to temperature T2, and one more junction is created here, J3 and J4, and where the temperature is T3. What law says the EMF developed is not affected when third homogeneous metal is made part of circuit. So third homogeneous metal we are increasing here. So this is metal A, this is metal B, and this is metal 3, metal C. So third homogeneous metal we are going to be introduced, and due to the introduction of third homogeneous material, there will not be any effect on the EMF production. So EMF developed is not affected by this production of the third material in the circuit at this location. Another law is there, EMF produced when circuit of two homogeneous metal exist between first and second, and EMF produced when same circuit exists between second and third is equal to EMF produced when circuit exists between first and third. So if you see this figure, we can have A, T1 is a temperature of hot junction, T2 is the temperature of cold junction, where A material is there and B material is there. So EMF produced is AB. EAB is EMF produced. Similarly, EBC is a second condition where temperature of hot junction is T1, temperature of cold junction is T2, where second metal is B and third metal is C. Another figure is there where temperature of hot junction is T1, temperature of cold junction is T2, where the upper material is a and lower material will be at C. So what the, the law says, here the EMF produced when circuit of two dishomogeneous metal exists between first and second. Here first and second, and EMF produced when the same circuit exists between second and third. So here metal A and metal B is there. Here metal B and metal C is there, and is equal to the EMF produced when the same circuit exists between first and third. So here the metal A and metal C. So EMF produces EAC. So EAC is a total EMF produced, which is nothing but addition of EMF AB EAB plus EMF BC. Here is a B metal and bottom one is a C metal. So EMF BC. So according to this law, EMF produced between the first and third metal is equal to EMF produced between the first and second plus EMF produced between second and third. It's addition of previous two. This is law of successive temperatures. So accordingly, it may be constructed thermocouple, and the last is there. I think the EMF in the circuit is not affected by the addition of more thermocouple at the same temperature. So if you add the more thermocouple at the cold junction, here is a thermocouple, here is a thermocouple, here is a thermocouple added in the cold junction, whereas there is a one junction in the hot junction, J1. So EMF in the circuit is not affected. So whatever the EMF is going to be generated, EMF not affected by the more number of thermocouple at the same temperature. So here this area is subjected to same temperature, T2. Junction J2 subjected to temperature T2, whereas junction J1 is subjected to temperature T1. So this number of thermocouple, if you are adding here on the temperature T2, is not affected. If you add 1, 2, or 3 or 4 junction at the temperature T2, it will not affect the production of electromotive force in the circuit due to the such type of construction. So based on this, some of the laws related with the thermocouple, thermocouples are going to be manufactured, and it is available in market according to the range of the temperature that they are going to be used. So this is all about the related with the how the thermocouple there is able to make or measure the temperature of a hot body. The second parameter or second instrument which are going to be used for measurement of temperature is a radiation parameter. So radiation parameter is a, we can say, it is a higher range as compared to the temperature of previous temperature measuring devices. So in the radiation parameter, what is there? When the temperature is high and physical contact in process to be measured is impossible. Physical contact. So we don't have any contact of the body और द टेम्परेचर जिसका हमें मेजर करना है उसे हमें फिजिकली कांटेक्ट करना नहीं है. वी डोंट वांट टू टच द बॉडी whose temperature we want to measure. Then in such cases, and whenever the temperature is in the higher range, more than 1500 degrees centigrade or like that, you can go or suitably select the radiation type of parameter. That is the importance of this radiation parameter, and it finds the application for temperature above range of thermocouple. So what is the range of thermocouple? Above that range, we are going for the radiation parameter, and also for the for rapidly moving objects. So whenever there is rapidly moving object, in such cases we are going to select radiation parameter. Already we are saying that temperature of a molten metal, which is a rapid moving object, and we can have a measurement of temperature of molten metal coming out of a foundry or casting process. In that we cannot touch that molten metal by hand, and we have to measure the temperature of a molten metal. We can go for radiation type of parameter. So it measures the radiant heat. It measures the radiant heat emitted by the hot body. Emitted by the hot body. So hot body is the molten metal, and the molten metal is flowing. So heat is going to radiate from that molten metal. And the total thermal radiations emitted by the black body is QE, which is equal to sigma into T raised to power 4. According to this black body emission laws, we can have it is a standard relation, sigma into T raised to power 4 means fourth power of temperature. The heat is from black body is going to be emitted, and all bodies radiate heat above the absolute zero temperature. All body radiate heat above the absolute zero temperature. So the total radiation is suppose Q0 following on the surface of a body. A portion of it is absorbed. A portion of it will be absorbed, and portion of it will be reflected. So absorb jitna ho raha hai, that is QA is a heat absorbed, QR is a heat reflected, and QT is a heat transmitted. So already you learn it in suppose in heat transfer, various modes of heat transfer, where heat, whatever the radiations are coming from the hot body, that is Q0, radiation coming of the hot body, that that will be partially absorbed. QA is the heat will be absorbed, and partially it is reflected. QR, partially the heat will be reflected, and QT, partially it is transmitted. So whatever the radiations are there, they are coming from the hot body. They are going to be absorbed, reflect, and transmit through this body. So this is the body. This is the body in which the heat is going to be transferred. So we can have already known the total heat Q0 is equal to QA plus QR plus QT. Divided this equation by Q0. So Q0 upon Q0 equal to QA upon Q0 plus QR upon Q0 plus QT upon Q0. So Q0 upon Q0 is 1. QA upon Q0 is alpha. QR upon Q0 is beta. And QT upon Q0 is gamma. So alpha plus beta plus gamma equal to 1. This is one of the well-known equations related with the heat transfer. It is total it is absorptivity. A stands for absorptivity, reflectivity, and transmittivity. Alpha, beta, and gamma. So that will be all equal to 1. That's why black body is a perfect absorber. Black body is a perfect absorber where beta and gamma the values are beta and gamma are related with the 0. Value of beta and gamma are related with the 0, so alpha equal to 1. When alpha equal to 1, the black body is a perfect black body where absorptivity alpha value of alpha equal to 1. That's why the black body will absorb more heat as compared to other bodies. So these are all related with the concepts of heat transfer, and we are using it for our temperature measuring device. The values of alpha, beta, and gamma varies from 0 to 1. This value, addition of all the values will be equal to 1, means definitely the value will be vary from 0 to 1, 0 to 1, and 0 to 1. It may be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 like that. But addition will be equal to 1. It is not more than 1. For a perfect black body, the alpha equal to 1, where beta and gamma equal to 0. So these are what we can say concept related with the heat transfer, which are going to be used for in this radiation type of parameter. So we are based on that, we are constructing a radiation parameter. The instrument will be there for absorbing the heat. So here where a total radiation parameter is there, it is this type of instrument is a metallic shield. This instrument we can say radiation parameter. We can have the hot body. Hot body is there whose temperature we want to measure. Whose temperature we want to measure, the heat will be radiated. Heat will be radiated from this hot body. So this heat will be radiated on this mirror. The rays are coming out of this. The radiations are coming out of this, and it is fall on this mirror. From this mirror, it is going to be reflected because of inclination, as well as this from this also radiation. This is going to be reflected. After reflection, the heat is going to be concentrated on this point. It is going to be concentrated because of the curvature of the shape of this mirror. The heat is going to be made to concentrate on this junction, and that junction is a junction of a thermocouple. That junction is a junction of a thermocouple. So on this side we can find the shield, so the radiation are not coming out of this instrument. Okay, and from here you are finding the sighting hole, so we can able to see what is there in the system. So sighting hole is there. So see what is going on. So so this hot junction is subjected to a high temperature. Okay, the temperature of a hot body. So in this way, the thermocouple is going to be used in this instrument as a radiation parameter for measurement of temperature, because as you already seen the working of thermocouple. So this junction is nothing but the hot junction of a thermocouple. So whenever the heat is subjected to heat, the what will happen? The current is flow inside the circuit, because this is made of some material. This is made up of some material, and other side other material. So two dissimilar metals are there. EMF is going to be produced in the thermocouple, and this EMF is we want to measure, which is indirectly the measure of temperature of this point. Indirectly we measure the temperature of this radiant heat of a hot body. So we cannot have the physical contact because this is far away from this instrument. This is the instrument and this is the hot body. So there is a distance between instrument and the hot body. So we don't have the physical contact with the hot body, and indirectly we are measuring the EMF, which is the calibrated in terms of the temperature of a hot body. So it is used to measure the total energy of radiation from the hot body. It is designed to collect the radiation from the object. So whatever the object is there, we are collecting the radiation and focusing it by means of a mirror. So with the help of mirror, we are focusing it, all the energy on this thermocouple. And EMF is developed by which is going to be measured by multivoltmeter. You can measure the EMF by multivoltmeter, and after calibration, it becomes measure of the temperature of a object or body. So we can measure EMF, which is the indirectly measure of the can measure EMF, which is indirectly measure of the temperature of a hot body by using radiation type of parameter. So which are the going to be advantages related with this? Maybe there here advantages or maybe characteristics of this type of radiation parameter. It is a high speed of response is there, so we can have moving objects or whose temperature we want to measure, and temperature is very high. We can go for radiation type of parameter. So there is no direct contact. So physical contact is not there. So this is one of the application where we don't want to have physical contact with object, just like furnace or hot body, hot metal, molten metal. We cannot have the direct contact. And temperature range is 700 degrees centigrade to 2000 degrees centigrade for this radiation type of parameter. Minimum is 700 and maximum is 2000 degrees centigrade. So you can imagine the temperature of 2000 degrees centigrade. It is very high temperature, and that temperature we can measure by using the radiation type of parameter, radiation parameter. Here the object may be stationary or may be moving. You can have moving object or stationary object suitable for the measurement of temperature by using radiation parameter. Independent of distance between measuring of element and object. So we can have a distance, जो कि instrument is at one place and hot body will be at the other place. It may be distance of 1 meter or 2 meter, like that, 3 meter. So there is a distance between the molten metal and the instrument. So we can have this arrangement because we are measuring the radiant heat, radiant energy. And cooling is required to protect the instrument from overheating. So cooling arrangement will be there for instrument to cool down, because it is maybe subjected to hot area, and so proper cooling to the instrument is required to protect the instrument against damage. So these are some of the characteristics, silent features related with the radiation type of parameter. Another instrument you can have in the same category is optical type of parameter. Another instrument is in the same category is optical type of parameter, optical pyrometer. So this optical parameter is again in the same, this is on the same lineup with the radiation type of parameter. It is also able to have similar characteristics or similar silent features as that of the radiation parameter, where we don't have to physically contact the heated body and the instrument. So they are having the large distance. So if you concentrate on this figure also, we can have this optical type of parameter, where heated source on the right hand side, where it will emit the heat in the direction of arrow, and this heat will be going to be fall on this objective lens, and from this objective lens, this pass through this absorption screen is there to filter out the rays, and these rays are going to be passed again to this lamp or filament, and these rays of the hot body is again cross this red filter to filter out the some unwanted signal, unwanted rays, and again it is fall on this eyepiece. It is fall on this eyepiece. So through the eyepiece we can able to see the image of this filament. Through the eyepiece you can see the image of this filament indirectly from the correlation with the filament image and the hot body. So this filament, as you see the bottom side, it's connected with the electrical circuit, and this one of the lead is connected with this what you can say resistor, variable resistor, and this resistor having connected with the battery, source of battery, positive terminal and negative terminal, and another connected with your some meter to measure the current flowing through the circuit, ammeter, and it is, you can show I is the flow of current inside the circuit. So I is the flow of current in the circuit. So resistance is there. As you know, the resistance is there. We can change its value because we can have movement of this pointer over this length of the resistor, so that the current flow in the circuit circuit can be changed. So it is related with the optical parameter. We can have the lenses, objective lenses are there, and this complete body is in the complete casing. ये पूरा casing है, the objective lens, absorption screen, and filament, and the light filter, and this eyepiece is completely enclosed in the casing, and this will completely uh, a optical type of parameter, and there is a distance between this instrument and the heated source. So as you see the working point of view, we can have the working of that, the radiation from the heated body at high temperature. So falls within the visible region of electromagnetic spectrum. So within visible region, a given wavelength has fixed color and the energy of radiation, and is interrupted as intensity of the or brightness. So heat is going to be liberated from this heated source, and uh, this heated body may have different colors. It may be a red color or orange color, or maybe a white color. So as you go on increasing the temperature, we can have white color. If you go on lesser temperature, it can have orange color or yellow color, lesser temperature. So whatever the heat will be there, it may be molten metal or like anything for temperature of a furnace, have these colors depending upon the temperature. So these colors are going to be changed above 450 degrees centigrade. Above 450 degrees centigrade to 1000 degrees centigrade, you can find the change in colors of the metal whenever we are heating it in the furnace or like that. It is not affected whenever we can have lower temperature. No? So this, if you measure the brightness, if you measure the brightness of light of given color, if you measure the brightness of light of a given color emitted by hot body, we have indication of temperature. So we want to measure the brightness of this filament. So how the filament will be look like? What is the image of the filament? And based on the image of the filament, we can able to characterize the temperature of the hot body. Okay, how it will be seen? You can see it. An image of radiating source is produced by lens, and it is made to collide coincide with the filament temperature. So the lamp intensity is adjusted. Intensity is adjusted as current through the lamp filament is made variable, and the current is adjusted until the filament and image are of equal brightness. So if you see this figure, we can have better understood. The eyepiece is there. In that eyepiece, we can find the image of the filament. So this filament is having a very dark image, and one more image where we can find the bright image. One more image is there on the right hand side. We can find the image will not be seen. It is disappear. Okay, it is image is disappeared. Means when you say a dark image, we can have low, we can have bright image, we can have high, and the image is disappeared. So it is our point of interest. So whenever image is disappeared, we can say the temperature of a hot body and the current flowing through the circuit is equal. Current flowing through the circuit is equal. Means whenever temperature of the hot body is equal to the temperature of this filament, temperature of the hot body is equal to the temperature of this filament, then through the eyepiece we cannot see anything. Means it is an indication that the whenever we cannot see anything, the image is disappeared, we can come to conclusion that the temperature of hot body is equal to the temperature of the filament. And that's why we can made it, or we can change it by changing the position of this uh, pointer over the resistance. So if you change the resistance, because it is movable, pointer is movable, we can change the resistance. We can change the resistance means we can change the value of current flowing through the circuit. सर्किट में का जो करंट फ्लो है उसको हम चेंज कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ रेजिस्टेंसेस, मूवमेंट ऑफ द रेजिस्टेंस, एंड व्हेनेवर रेजिस्टेंस का करंट चेंज होगा उसकी जो इमेज है ये हम चेंज करेंगे ये जब तक कि यह की इमेज डिसअपियर हो जाए. Whenever we image disappear, up till that point we want to move this resistance. Whenever, as soon as we disappear this image, it indicates that the temperature of hot body is equal to the temperature of the filament. And at that point we will stop and we measure the current flow inside the circuit. So that will be the indirectly the measurement of temperature, because this current flow which is measured in this ammeter is directly calibrated in the temperature of this filament, and directly this filament temperature is related with the temperature of the hot body. So if what is the इसमें जो element लिखा है, जो first and second में दिखा है, low and high. So low का बताएगा और high का बताएगा. So the image is very bright. See, image is very dark. Sorry, image is very dark. Filament का image अगर से dark है तो हम current बढ़ाएंगे. You can see the image of the filament is very dark. So the image हमारा dark दिख रहा है तो हमको current की value बढ़ानी पड़ेगी. So we want to increase the current. पर धीरे धीरे बढ़ाते जाएंगे, उसके बाद भी disappear होगी, तब हम रुक जाएंगे. अगर उसके आगे भी जाते हैं तो क्या हो जाएंगी, फिर से इमेज दिखेगी, पर इमेज जो दिखेगी वो ब्राइट दिखेगी. इमेज जो दिखेगी वो ब्राइट दिखेगी, ब्राइट. तो ये हमें ये भी नहीं चाहिए. वी डोंट रिक्वायर दिस, वी डोंट रिक्वायर दिस. वी रिक्वायर्ड image should be vanish. So at this point we want to stop. We want to stop where the image in the eyepiece is disappeared. When the image in the eyepiece is disappeared, this is our point of measurement. We don't require this image, we don't require this image. यहाँ पे हमारा करंट कम है, यहाँ पे करंट हमारा ज़्यादा हो गया. यहाँ पे हमारा करंट इन द सर्किट इज करेक्ट. सो यहाँ पे हमें रुकना है एंड मेजरमेंट लेना है. that will be the measuring the current, and this current is will be measure in the circuits. जो सर्किट बना है इस करंट मेजर करेंगे, बट करंट इज डायरेक्टली कैलिब्रेटेड in relation with the temperature of this filament, and this temperature of the filament will be disappear, and it is whenever it is disappear, it is a function of this temperature of a hot heated body, which is at the larger distance as compared to the distance of this instrument. So in this way we can able to measure this value of current flow or calibrate the ammeter in terms of temperature. हम उसे कैलिब्रेट कर सकते हैं कि हमें अगर से हम इसे हम कैलिब्रेट करते हैं with respect to temperature, we can directly measure the temperature of the hot body. So if you consider here, if the temperature of filament is lower, अभी मैं बताया, it becomes dark. Temperature of the filament is lower, it becomes dark. If the temperature of the filament is high, filament का temperature अगर high है तो it become bright, ये bright दिखेगा. और तीसरी condition, temperature of the filament will not be seen. There is a temperature you want to measure. So the instrument is calibrated in terms of the filament current. Whatever the instrument is there, optical instrument is calibrated in terms of the filament current, and the maximum temperature measured is 1400 degree centigrade. इससे भी ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है. I think 14 भी हो सकता है, 2000 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड तक भी हम जा सकते हैं. So we can have generally suitable for high temperature. No direct contact is there. यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है, मोल्टन मेटल है या कोई फर्नेस है जिसको हम फिजिकल कांटेक्ट नहीं कर सकते, तो हमें ऑप्टिकल पैरामीटर का यूज करना चाहिए. So we can find the application of this optical parameter. That is temperature of a furnace we want to measure, temperature of a molten metal we want to measure, where we can use optical type of parameters. So these are the instruments which are going to be there for what you can say measurement of temperature in the higher range side. So we already seen the various what we can say temperature measuring device. Already in the last two lecture also we are seeing the liquid in glass thermometer, then the resistance temperature detector RTD, then we see the thermistor, and then we see the thermocouple, then we see the radiation parameter, and then we see the optical parameter. नाम मैंने बताया है, out of this one question of 8 marks will 100% there in the university. It may be mostly in a question is like that: draw a neat sketch of optical parameter, explain its construction and working. In that fashion, the question is asked. Draw a neat sketch of RTD and explain the application working construction. So in this way, we can write down in the point wise. So write down figure. If it is a smart decision, 2 mark for figure, 2 mark for construction, 2 mark for working, 2 mark for application, and neatness of your writing carry your impression in your examination. So all this related with your temperature measurement. And from next class we move to the